I should note that Jesuit athletes also performed with distinction in the classroom. In the Florida Academic Team Champion Standings, which measures cumulative team grade point averages, Jesuit placed first among all Class 5A boys programs in the state. The bowling and soccer teams both earned first place academically in their respective sports statewide in Class 5A. As I indicated in my homily, the hallmark of Jesuit education is excellent academics, but in the atmosphere of a strong faith. Tampa Jesuit continues to be a place where students are allowed and encouraged to express their faith and become men of God and men for others. In February, we had a great day at Jesuit. Oakland, California Bishop Michael Barber, S.J., visited campus. This was shortly after he had become the first bishop in America named by Pope Francis, S.J. Maybe a little home cooking there. Anyways, the bishop celebrated a votive mass for St. Peter Faber, a Jesuit whom Pope Francis had just canonized. And then Bishop Barber led a procession to our newly renamed Faber Hall. There's an image of it for a blessing of this remodeled facility. A few days later, we received a letter from Bishop Barber in which he wrote the following. I was so impressed by my visit to your school last Friday. Tampa Jesuit is everything a Jesuit high school should be. The mass was spectacular. The music, the serving, the students' reverent participation. I've been a Jesuit for 40 years, and I have never seen such an impressive group of young men comport themselves so respectfully before God. If I were not a bishop, I would want to join your faculty. He'd be at the top of the pay scale. I cannot think of a happier ministry than to be associated with the quality of men you are training at Jesuit High. Obviously, wonderful words to receive from Bishop Barber, high praise, and actually a challenge for us to continue to live up to. In May, at the last Mass of the school year, 9 Jesuit students were received into the Catholic Church. 4 were baptized: Keegan Hart, Brixton Linares, Nino Lopez, and Hector Rizzo. 5 became Catholics: Cullen Finley, Gant Merritt, John Nasser, Guy Revel, and Tanner Folk. At the 8th annual Men for Others dinner in April, sponsored by the Dads Club, 600 Jesuit fathers and sons listened to Mr. Penn Dawson, pictured there, of the Society of Jesus. Penn is a former Tampa attorney, and now he's a Jesuit scholastic. He delivered the keynote address. His story about transitioning in his late 40s from his successful career as an attorney to religious life was a powerful message for all present. It was really a great occasion. Penn is now actually beginning this year will be serving on our board of trustees. In other news, many in the school community were excited to hear the reports about the news about Eric Ramirez, S.J., who was ordained to the priesthood this past summer. Eric taught at Jesuit as a scholastic from 2007 to 2011. He was one of those first teachers that really kicked off our tremendous AP success in his AP English course. Eric was ordained July 19th in Texas after 3 years of study in Rome. Now known as Father Ramirez, something his students have to get used to, he returned to Jesuit in early August and celebrated Mass in St. Anthony's Chapel for a group of past students, their families, faculty, and staff. And finally, looking to the future, one of our own from Jesuit High School is becoming one of our own in the Society of Jesus. Ryan Lurch, who graduated from Jesuit in May, entered the Jesuit novitiate in Grand Coteau, Louisiana last weekend. I know that he was there with his parents at Grand Coteau novitiate. He's pictured there with them, with Mr. Selah, Mr. Paternoster on the far ends, and other Jesuit tigers who made the trek to Louisiana for a come-and-see weekend. A string of compelling Jesuit speakers keep morning convocation in St. Anthony's Chapel the daily focus of our spiritual life. They have to be compelling because they have to keep 750 guys awake at 8 in the morning. Attorney General Pam Bondi spoke on substance abuse, and nationally recognized speaker Jason Everett addressed the student body on the important topic of chastity. One of the most memorable speakers the whole year was Al Higginbotham, Hillsborough County Commissioner, who told his riveting personal story about how a fluke accident left him paralyzed. A terrifying experience that he now calls, and said so in St. Anthony's, the best day of his life. Al shared how his faith helped him gain perspective and inspiration in the midst of fear and suffering. Another notable speaker was Dale Resinella, who ministers to the condemned on Florida's death row. In Lent 1964 graduate, Dr. Wayne Phillips, made a fascinating scientific presentation on the Shroud of Turin. Many other Jesuit alums spoke throughout the year, including Atlanta Falcons President Rich McKay of the class of 1977, and Father Jose Maria Castillo of the class of 2000, who was a missionary in Peru. The Alumnus of the Year Award is one of the Jesuits' most prestigious annual honors. Al Lopez Jr. of the class of 1959 was announced at homecoming last year as our 2013-2014 Alumnus of the Year. Al was recognized for his many years of dedicated service to Jesuit High and the community at large. The award was formally bestowed on him at the annual Senior Alumni Luncheon in May. Al is here with us today, and I ask that he stand and be recognized. Thank you much. This spring, one of our alumni, John Kovac, of the class of 1988, made global news. John is at the right in the photo. He and his Harvard team of South Pole researchers discovered gravity waves, thus essentially, I'll simplify it for you, proving the Big Bang Theory. I don't understand it myself. In the media onslaught, John was gracious enough to credit his education at Jesuit for helping him along his path. And later, he was recognized by Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Anthony Macaglia of the class of 2011, a golfer at Oglethorpe University, recently became the first Division III golfer ever to qualify for the Palmer Cup, a prestigious international competition that's modeled on the Ryder Cup coming up in a few weeks. Anthony represented the U.S. at the Palmer Cup just a few weeks ago in England. This past NHL hockey season, 2 Jesuit alums and a Jesuit student were named community heroes by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Each was awarded $50,000 to donate to the charities of their choice. Zach Aldridge, who graduated in May and received the Arupe Award at commencement, is in the picture there. And also honored were alums Joe Capitano Sr. of the class of 1956 and Andre Kerwan of the class of 1992. Both have been tremendous pillars of the Tampa community for many years. Andre and Joe are present today, and I ask them to stand and be recognized by all. All the success that we've enjoyed this past year could not have happened without the support of all of you who are gathered here in this room and many others. Every year, you make a difference. Every year, your generosity matters and is greatly appreciated. Last year was another tremendous year of success for our annual fund, and it was a success precisely because of your generous response. What were the ingredients of the success? First, a strong commitment from the Board of Trustees, 100% of whom supported the annual fund and issued a challenge gift last year. Secondly, leadership from our alumni, including that of Joe Garcia of the class of 49, Steve Jenkins of the class of 75, who have jointly sponsored an alumni challenge gift the past few years. With efforts like these, and with your support, we were able to surpass in the 2014 annual fund $1.1 million. Why is this important? Among other reasons, because more than 25% of our students receive financial aid each year. In the coming year alone, Jesuits committed $1.6 million to financial aid. And in addition to the annual fund, the financial aid program is made possible by Gaudiosa, Jesuit's largest annual fundraising event. Gaudiosa was recognized as the best fundraising gala in the Tampa Bay area by the Tampa Bay Business Journal. And once again, the energy in the room was electric. This past year at Gaudiosa, we honored Melanie and Richard Gonsmark from the class of 1971. They were our honorary chairs. It was the first time we ever had honorary chairs. And it seemed like in the tuition appeal throughout the night, everybody was raising their paddles during that live auction and during that tuition appeal. The gorgeous setting and team of dedicated volunteers were, as always, coordinated wonderfully by Jane Younger, who this past year was named by the Tampa Bay Business Journal as the area's best event planner, which she certainly is. Thank you, Jane. And all this energy, leadership, and generosity helped Gaudiosa 2014 also set a new record last spring. We raised at Gaudiosa more than $700,000.